This is lab 6-5, comprehensive case, Dillard store data hypothesis testing, part 2 data visualization. Here, I want to perform a hypothesis to determine that there is a significant difference between January's return percentage and the rest of the months in a given year. So I want to dig further into the data to visualize the difference across the months and also across the stores in comparison to sales data. So what I want to do first is go to Excel. I want to go to data. I want to get data from database, SQL Server. I want to put in server name, which is ESSQL. I'm going to go ahead and type all that in, and I'll be right back. So here I have my SQL Server, ESSQL1.UARC and WCLB for the database. This is my SQL Server statement, and I'm going to include relationship columns and press OK. I'm going to retry that and edit my statement. So next thing I'm going to do is I had to correct my statement, and then I pressed edit, and I'm in the Power Query editor. So I transformed, and I'm going to click trans type, pivot column, and I'm going to do amount. It's loading. I'm going to do close and load the data. I'm just going to load it to here. And then once I have the data loaded, I'm going to save the spreadsheet as lab 6-6, and I'm going to open Tableau and connect to the Excel data source. And I'm going to browse and open the file, and I'm going to load the data into that destination to create the return percentage measure, just like I did in the previous lab 6-4. So I'll be right back when it finishes loading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Save As, Browse. I'm going to put it in my documents. I'm going to save it as lab 6-6, like so. I'm going to save it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Windows, head over to Tableau, and it's loading. It's loading, and what I'm going to do is connect Excel. And 1 second. So I go to my documents and go to my lab 6-6, which I just saved. I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to go to sheet 1. After that loads. So right back. What I'm going to do now is go over to sheet 1, create a calculated field. I'm going to do R-P, R divided by P, and then I'm going to have the sum of R divided by the sum and I'm going to press OK. Next thing I'm going to do is part 3, perform the analysis. So I want to create 3 digital data visualizations to display dashboard. So first I'm going to create a map displaying the sales dollars per state. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop the state into the start of the map. I'm going to double click the P measure to display customer purchases, and then Tableau will obviously default to a symbol map. So I'm going to change this field map using the Show Me window. Which is over here. So I'm going to click right here to the field map. This is the default one, and this is the field map. I'm going to go ahead and rename my sheet. Rename to Sales by State. The next thing I want to do is right-click my Sales by State sheet and duplicate it. In the new sheet, I'm going to drag the P measure out of the marks card and replace it with the calculated measure. Take it off. Put it here. So I can see the correct shading. 1 second. So I'm going to drag and drop this into the color so I can see the differences between the different states. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to name this sheet returned percentage by states. And after I do that, I'm going to open a new sheet. And on that new sheet, I'm going to drag the trans date to the rows. And then it will default to years, but I want to expand it twice to see the quarters. Say quarter, then months. So I'm going to remove the years and quarters so that only the months remain. And next thing I'm going to do is double click the RP so that it appears in the marks card. And okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I had this as quarters, but I just clicked the wrong one, so I went back and I just did month. And I clicked this Show Me table. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to default with one of the highlighted tables. For example, after clicking this right here, it changed the colors of my months. So right now it's in the columns, and I want to just move it down to rows to see what it looks like, and it just gives me a different view. What we're doing now is create a new dashboard so I can put all 3 of these sheets into one. What I'm going to do now is click on this map because I want this returns percentage by state visual to be the designated visual, so as a filter for the entire dashboard. So I'm just going to go here. So I can now click all in here. However, see now it's changing each state. And so now this is the main focus in the sales map, as well as how to see the return percentages different and how to differ monthly for each particular state. So I'm just going to click around, give an example. You'll see sheet 3 changing, sales by state changing, and returns percentage by states. And that is it for Lab 6-5, Comprehensive Case, Dillard Store Data Hypothesis Testing.